Claims it's not a bar hopper. Pulls directly into a bar. Alright everybody, what is up? What is up? As always, thanks for stopping by to another video today. We are out on the Harley Davidson Softail Street Bob, out on the lovely back roads of Hershey, Pennsylvania. So if you guys saw my last video, you guys saw that I was getting the Street Bob prepped up for one of my longer road trips. Not the longest in the world, but one of the longer trips that I do a couple times a year across the state of Pennsylvania. And really the first kind of leg of that is what we're on right now, actually kind of finishing up the first leg or so, is I usually like to take 76 out of Philadelphia, catch up with Hershey, Pennsylvania here, go through Harrisburg, State College, all this different stuff that we're actually going to show you a little bit later on. But like I said, we are wrapping up this first leg of the road trip, which is going to land us in the central PA, Hershey, Harrisburg area. So many beautiful sights and sounds out this way, a lot of farmland, a lot of farm country, a little bit of some low rolling hills and stuff. That's why I love to get out this way. You can usually take the PA Turnpike, which runs parallel to this, all the way across the state, but why take the highway the whole time when you can duck off and get a little back road riding? But like I said, a little bit more for the agenda today. Road tripping across the state of Pennsylvania. Some of the first stops here are Hershey, Harrisburg, PA. We are going to stay the night in Harrisburg, and then we're going to head south down towards York, PA, hit some back roads down there. I've spent a lot of time out in this area. It's really nice. I kind of know some of the roads and stuff below Harrisburg, so I want to do a little bit of that riding tonight through York, Dillsburg, Lewisberry. We will hopefully stop at a state park, Lake Nakamixon, so make sure you guys stick around so you guys can take a look at that. But then later on, we're also going to show you the rest of the road trip as we get up into central PA and up into northwestern PA as well. Now, I know a lot of that, unless you're from PA or from the area currently, none of that probably really matters to you at all. Those names, cities, roads, and stuff like that. But I can assure you it's good stuff, so make sure you stick around. I would also like to hopefully hit up Appalachian Harley Davidson, which is one of the Harley dealers around here out in this area. I don't think I've ever been there before. We are about 4 o'clock. I think they close at 6. We still got to check into the hotel, so actually maybe we'll go there first. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. But anyways, that first leg of the trip is a lot of highway, and of course we are on the Street Bob here. It's like 100 miles of highway probably until you duck off into some of this little back road town type areas. But anyways, the Street Bob is holding up great. It's an amazing bike. I love riding this thing everywhere I can, road tripping and everything like that. But some of the comments that I get a lot of the times that people have on the Street Bob, or preconceived notions, things like that about this bike in particular, is I get it all the time as people are telling me that, oh, that's just a bar hopper, that's my bar hopper bike. Some people out there, you know, if they have a bagger or any other bikes that they do some long distance stuff on, they say, oh, you know, my Street Bob, that's just my bar hopper. It's just a bar hopping type of bike. That's all it's good for. And I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, I'm here to tell you that this bike is not just a bar hopper. If you have a motorcycle with an 1850cc engine and you're just using it as a bar hopper, I tell you what, there's a lot more to it than that. This bike, and what I want to show you guys on this road trip, is like, this bike will take you anywhere you want. This bike is going to take you any destination. Yeah, does it have a little bit of a smaller gas tank? Yes. You're going to have to make some modifications to fit you and have a little bit more comfortable ride and styling and stuff like that. Yeah, a little bit, but you could say that for almost any bike. I'm here to tell you guys this bike is not just a bar hopper, and show you, look at this. Look at all the amazing places that this bike can take you. That's what I'm going to show you on a lot of the rest of the road trip too. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Is this bike just a bar hopper? If you have one, do you use it as just a around town bar hopper type bike? Because I can think of a lot better bike that I actually have that could be used as a bar hopper. That's a lot less powerful and a lot cheaper too if you're just going to use it as a bar hopper. And that's my Sportster. I would give the Sportster the bar hopper connotation before this bike, I tell you what. But don't get me wrong, I've taken the Sportster all over the place as well. So what it comes down to really, in my opinion, is just the fact that, I mean, it's up to the person. I mean, the person is probably going to give up before the bike does. Like I said, I've gone all over the place on my Sportster. It's got almost 20,000 miles on it now. That thing has never let me down. I give up before it does. But listen, I'm just saying, if you want to pick something as a bar hopper, use a Sportster, not an 1850cc hot rod cruiser like a Street Bob, because this thing will get you anywhere you want to go. This trip that I'm on now, round trip's going to be probably a little over 1,000 miles before we're all said and done with this thing. Listen, that's not just a bar hopper. Alright, we got Harrisburg off in the distance there, and look at all this traffic. Are we still in Philadelphia? Like, what is going on here? So we'll take a quick pass through downtown Harrisburg. Honestly, not that exciting. Not that much to see here, but there is kind of some cool stuff. They do have a river that kind of cuts through the city. Got a lot of bridges and cool views and stuff. In a way, Harrisburg kind of reminds me of like a mini Philadelphia. You got like kind of the rivers that cut the city in half. You got a lot of cool stuff going on around there. A lot of bridges and everything, just on a much smaller scale, obviously. And I want to go across one of the bridges right now in just a second. It's kind of cool, kind of a good view. They have City Island, which is actually an island out in the middle of the river that the bridge cuts across. There's like a lot of activities. There's a baseball stadium out there on that island as well. So, and this is the bridge right here. It goes across the river. And then they've also got like a front street back there that runs along the river. Kind of reminds you, if you guys see me riding around Kelly Drive in Philadelphia, Kelly Drive along the river, somewhat similar. That's why it kind of reminds me of Philly around here on a much smaller scale. And then up here you can see you've got some bars and stuff along the river over there, some restaurants. That's always a good time. They got some big decks and stuff out there that you can sit on, look out over into the other side of the city. But let's go ahead and carry on to our next destination, or next place we're going to pass through. There we go, Appalachian Harley Davidson. We're going to pull in here for a minute and check things out. There we go, just pulled into Appalachian Harley Davidson. Looks like a pretty cool place. I don't think I've ever been here. I'll give you guys a little look at my bike and my setup for the travel pack here. Bag strapped on the back. We're going to go ahead and take a look inside, see what they got going on. Alrighty guys, so we just stopped at Appalachian Harley Davidson. That is in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. Pretty cool shop there, pretty big. It looks fairly new. I think they do a lot of cool events and stuff there. A lot of bikes in there, pretty big shop. One of the newer ones, or at least newly redone ones, it seems like. So we are now headed south out of Harrisburg area a little bit, headed a little bit towards like York, South Central PA, and man, this is beautiful. This is so nice out here. I've been on some of these roads before in a car. First time ever getting out here on the bike, which is great. A lot of farmland and stuff out here. This is just awesome. We're going to try to see if we can get into Gifford Pinchot State Park. There's a lake and everything down there. Just kind of a cool little area. There's campgrounds and everything. I just kind of want to stop in there, take a look at the lake, relax for a minute. Hopefully get you guys a view of that as well. It's so nice being out on these roads, man. It's like just, you can just go and go for miles, run through some like interesting little towns like this. This town's called Lewisberry. You know, you hit like one blinking red in the past, like, how long, 20 miles or so. It just makes you think there's so much better stuff getting out of the city, obviously. Like, riding around the city, just a pain in the ass all the time. Alrighty, so we were able to get in through the gate there. Looks like hours are till sunset, so we'll see what we'll be able to find down here. Alrighty guys, so we just pulled into the park here. We've got the bike here, of course, so we're going to take a little stroll down to the lake. Take a look at this nice big lake here down in South Central PA. It is a pretty large lake, so we'll walk up and take a look. Man, what a nice night to be out riding to a place like this. We are actually going to start to head back up towards the Harrisburg area where we are staying for the night. We're gonna grab something to eat and then head on the rest of our way tomorrow morning, probably about 10 a.m. We'll be passing through State College, making our way up to northwestern PA. So stay tuned for that. We're gonna head back up to the bike and get on our way. Alrighty guys, so it is now the next day. We headed kind of northwest out of Harrisburg after staying the night there and doing some of that riding that you just saw. Landed here now in State College, Pennsylvania. That's #1 Cycle Center, Harley Davidson shop right there, State College, PA. It's a pretty big operation they got going on here. We got a lot of stuff that goes down into there, some little walking stuff, hang out in your chairs and everything, but still going pretty good and strong with the bike so far. Great day. Had a great couple days for riding, actually. Not a cloud in the sky, perfect temperatures. Give you guys a quick look at my setup here. Of course, we've got the Viking bag, saddlebags. The bigger travel bag that I use here just straps right to the sissy bar. I could fit probably 10 days or 2 weeks worth of stuff in there. I could really go anything with this bag. It is pretty big. Like I said, I did want to tell you guys some of the stuff that is actually not so great about traveling on the Street Bob here. Of course, a couple of those simple things that you notice right away is it does have the smaller tank, obviously 3.5 gallons, but it's never really bothered me. I know it does bother some people that you only get 3.5 gallons of gas here. Like I said, I push it when I'm traveling about 150, 160 miles per tank. So to me, it does the trick, but for some of that longer stuff, you just kind of plan ahead a little bit. Another thing that I noticed too is these stock handlebars do get like a vibration that comes up through into the grips. When I get off this thing after some long stretches, my hands are like tingly and vibrating. I don't know if anybody has ever noticed that on these handlebars or any other bikes, but I have some people that always tell me kind of, you know, oh, it's a Harley, it shakes, it rattles. I get it, it's different than that. Yeah, it's gonna shake and rattle like on my Sportster, that has more shake, but it doesn't come up through the handlebars. I think it's something I could look at into with the bushings there. Those are just a couple of the small, simple little complaints I have when traveling on this thing. Other than that, I pretty much love it. It's heavy enough to stay planted on the highway. It's light and nimble enough to kind of speed through traffic and get yourself into some safer situations if you need to. So other than that, I really kind of love traveling on this thing. I have absolutely no issues at all. Of course, yes, if you do have a bigger bike, bigger bagger, are you going to be more comfortable? But of course, yes, you would be. But like I always say, you don't need one of those to do some of these longer stretches and these longer type rides. There you go, guys. Take a look at that. Look at that beautiful scenery out here in Central PA. Again, this is State College, Bellefonte area. Of course, probably anything you guys would know out here would probably be Penn State University is kind of the only thing they have going on out here in Central PA. Pretty rural, pretty cool out here. A lot of farmland. Kind of reminds me of the Hershey area where we came back through. But just want to stop here, give you guys a look at this central Pennsylvania scenery. We're going to continue on our way. Again, we're just taking our time. We are only about halfway through here. Halfway through this trip today, we're going to end up in northwestern PA. As we get up there and cap this first half of the trip off, talk a little bit more about the trip and a little bit more about the bike. I'll be sure to let you guys know a little bit more about the experience. Alrighty guys, so we have just about now reached our destination. We're pulling through a small town here in Crawford County, Pennsylvania. I can't imagine too many people tuning in out there ever heard of Crawford County, Pennsylvania, but that is where we are wrapping up this kind of first portion of this road trip. Again, this is the first half. We're going to do some more riding around here, and then we're going to flip it back and finish out the round trip back to Philadelphia. But the rest of that trip was smooth. That last piece there you saw us in State College. We hit 322 up into I-80. Man, 80 on the highway was pretty windy, man. I was getting blown all over the place. Semi-trucks everywhere. Again, that's another thing you kind of got to consider when you're traveling on this particular bike. Not a whole lot of wind protection like you have with a bagger, but that circles me back to round out my point. Basically the point of this is not just a bar hopper, guys. So you can see we just did this whole riding. This first half of this was about 400 miles. We're gonna have more on the way back, but we're not gonna film a lot of that. We're gonna wrap up this one right here, right now. The way back will pretty much just be for me, not worrying about filming or anything like that, just riding and enjoying the ride. But like I said, even just this portion here gets the point across that this is not just a bar hopper, guys. You can do anything you want with this bike, and even to take it back farther, you can do anything you want really with any bike. You don't need a bagger to get out there and crush some of those long miles. But of course, let me know your thoughts and opinions out there. What bikes do you like to travel on? What bikes do you like to bar hop on? Again, I think the Sportster would be better classified as a bar hopper. Cheaper, smaller bike, smaller engine, all that. I don't know why you would call a 1850cc Street Bob a bar hopper, but to each his own, you know. But as always, that is going to wrap this one up for now. I had an absolute blast, absolute awesome weather on the first half of this road trip. As always, if you guys like anything we got going on here, make sure you go ahead and like this video, drop a comment down there, and subscribe to the channel. As always, ride safe out there, guys. Make it a good one. It's the Moto Jawn. We'll see you all on down the road. Peace.